Would do YouTube 805 John from Prison to Purpose. Back at it with another one for you guys. So, last video I did, I was telling you guys about how things get really snakish in there. You could do everything the right way, you could try to stay out of the way, but eventually they're gonna get tired of using you as a pawn, and when they can't use you no more, they're gonna snake you. Don't matter how long you stayed solid, don't matter how long you did everything right, the second they can't use you no more, they'll wash your hands with you. So, I'm gonna take you into my second term. I'm in Wasco, level 3 AR. It's actually towards the end of my term. I want to say I'm like on the 3 year mark, maybe like 3.5. So there was a homie right there, and as you guys know, I don't throw names around because this dude he did stay active after this, but he was a homie from Corona, really good homie. He had, I want to say 15. He had been down 12, and he had 2 years to go home. So you got a few different categories of inmates in there. You got the politicos, the dudes that are all involved in the politics. You have the dope fiends, the ones that just run the yard looking and chase the sack. You got the wannabes that just want to fit in and try to act all hard, and then when the time calls, they PC up, whatever. And then you got the regular cats, the ones that, just carry themselves and they carry themselves the way that they really are. They're just them. Those are usually the coolest. And then you got the programmers. Well, I mean, you got the Christians too, and I don't want to talk down on them because I'm a Christian myself, but from what I've seen, the people that run Christian, they're usually, they're just hiding behind the Bible. I've only met a handful that really walk that walk. And that's the only name I'll throw out there. My boy Basic Brian. He's one of the only ones I ever met that really walked that walk, and he got out and he's still walking that walk, so I give it to him. But the other category we call the programmers. These are the dudes that take advantage of every self-help group that's available, take advantage of all the schooling, the vocational courses, the college courses, because the CDC in the last few years has a lot of programs. They have these things called milestones where if you put in enough hours into these programs that they have, these self-help groups, you could get time knocked off of your sentence. Funny thing is, I used to be one of those dudes in my first term that used to knock the programmers. I used to look at them as weak, but I was really young-minded. When I went back the second time, I was a programmer. So the homie from Corona, he was a programmer. I don't think he started his term out like that, as most don't. They run amok and do the little political stuff, and then as they get closer to going to home, or when that change sparks in their mind, they realize they need to change, they start doing the steps in there. And I can't wait to do a video about when it popped into my mind that I really needed to stop living the way I was and when I started to change because it happened in there. But that's a story for another day. So, a homie from Corona, the whole time I had seen him, he was a programmer. He did all the self help groups with me. I seen him in all of them, and he actually was doing college courses as well. Like he was about to get his degree. I want to say his bachelor's, not his associates, but he was a really good dude. Had a really good heart, and he was no punk either. I mean, that dude had done shoe terms. I mean, he did it all. He never punked out of anything. So this is gonna go back into that where if they ask you to do something, there's no saying no. They tell you you could say no, but you really can't. And it's a really cool story the way that they did him because he didn't exactly say no. So what happened was, look at when somebody needs to get removed, especially if it's a begala, they're not supposed to just go ask, you know, somebody that's getting close to going home, somebody that's been doing good. I mean, if the dude needs to get whacked and leave this earth, normally they're gonna ask a lifer first. But as you know, that doesn't always happen from my last video. Um, and then usually it's supposed to be somebody that owes cleanup, like somebody that messed up. Let's say they got into a dope debt and they owe cleanup. they're usually the ones that you gotta ask. Somebody that's messing up, that's who's supposed to go on them. But that doesn't always happen either. So what happened was this dude, he messed up really bad. He messed up really bad. He was going around saying false things. I will talk about this one because it wasn't very political. So this dude, he was kind of smoked out. He wasn't all there. And, you know, it's kind of messed up that they house people into a general population main line that aren't all there. They should have their own facilities because I've seen a lot of people that weren't all there get removed, and although I don't agree with it, it's a messed up situation. In this case, I kind of understand why. It still sucks, but the dude really could have caused a riot and got people hurt. He was going around telling people that certain individuals were sex offenders and rapists and couldn't produce any proof because the guy was just smoked out. Get down, kitty. Sorry. Got my cat up here. So, he was just going around saying some off the wall stuff, and those were some serious allegations that could get you hurt. So, what happened was this dude needed to get removed, but he had to get poked. So, they go in and they ask the homie from Corona, the homie that's not gotten any crap while he's been on the yard. He's not going around acting like he's all hard. He's not trying to politic. He's not in any dope debts or any type of debts. He doesn't get high or drink. He's just trying to program and get home. He has 2 years left. He's been down for like 12 already on a 15-year term. He has about 2 years left because you don't do your whole 100%. You do 85% when it's a violent felony. So they asked homie from Corona, and it was messed up. I was right there when they asked him because that was my boy. I was hanging out with him, and I heard exactly how he said it. He did not say no. He specifically said, "Look, I'm not denying this, Ale. All I ask is if you could find somebody else to do it, anybody, that's volunteering or, somebody that owes. If not, I'll do it. But I'm 2 years to the house. I have 2 strikes. You guys know this. So, again, I'm not denying it, but if you can find somebody else, please. If you can't find anybody else, then I'll do it." And it's messed up because if I was in his shoes, that's exactly what I would have said. Exactly like that. Because that's the way you're supposed to say it if you don't want it to come to Holly. Well, it didn't really play out too well for him. I thought it was gonna. I mean, I'm on my second term. I thought I had seen it all, and I really thought he said the right thing. I thought he was going to be good. I thought they were going to find somebody else to do it, which they should have. And if they didn't, which I thought they would, then he would have done it. Because again, he didn't deny it. He just asked if they could find somebody else to do it. So, a day or 2 passes, and they snaked him. You know how it goes. Go out to yard, and they plugged the crap out of him. He became the Hale. And if you asked around on the yard why, because he denied a Hale. He said no. That's a lie. I was there. He did not say no. He literally said he would do it if they couldn't find somebody else. All he asked was that they could consider that he was 2 years to the house and he had 2 strikes. He would have potentially spent the rest of his life in prison. And it was really hard to watch. Usually people want to see that kind of stuff, but as I got older, especially when I knew what the reasons were that people were getting removed like that, I didn't want to see that stuff. It was hard to watch, especially when you know that they're in the wrong for doing it. He didn't deserve to go out like that. He had already done all this stuff earlier in his term. Been to the hole, been to the shoe, did his pegadas, did all that. He was no punk. But just because he wanted to better his life and he had a chance of going home, they didn't care. They didn't take that into consideration. That's why I tell you guys, you're just a pawn in their game. And the second they can't use you no more, they'll get rid of you. This is not the life that you want to live. Learn from these stories that I share with you because they're all real, and I'm telling you the raw truth of the way it is in there. Don't listen to these guys that try to glorify it and make it sound all good. It's not all good. It's a messed up game. And I know you guys see, if you're watching my channel, you see all the other bigger channels and the same stories that they say. They have their experiences too. It's all the same thing. You're just gonna get used by people that don't want to do it themselves. And the second they can't use you, it's a wrap. You're gone. And then all they're gonna do is smut you up and talk all this crap about you. So it's better not even put yourself in that position. Stay out here. Don't worry about what other people think about you. I say this time and time again. They don't pay your bills. They don't keep a roof over your head. You're gonna worry about what somebody thinks about you? Think about what your family thinks about you. Worry about that. The people that you're supposed to provide for. The ones that are really there for you. Think about, or worry about what your boss thinks about you. You know? Get into a career. Work your way up. Worry about that. That's where your mind should be. So, this is going to be a shorter length video today. It's already kind of late. I wasn't able to drop yesterday. Got busy running errands for the family. And kind of did again today, but I really wanted to stay consistent and drop. So, that's going to be the story for today. When the snakes bite. I'll tap in with you guys tomorrow. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what else you guys want to hear. Give me an idea. If not, I'm just going to keep shooting out stories and figure out where I'm going to go there. If you know anybody that you feel could get something from this story, hit that arrow and shoot it to them. And until next time, you guys stay blessed. 805 John from Prison to Purpose.